If you are planning to travel to the United States in 2026, this is one of the most important videos you will watch before your trip. It does not matter whether you are a green card holder returning from a vacation abroad, a visa holder entering the country for work, study, or tourism, or even a naturalized U.S. citizen coming back home. There is a major change in how U.S. Customs and Border Protection handles phone searches at the border. And under the expanded rules now in effect, something as simple as a single text message, a photo, or a casual chat on WhatsApp could lead to visa revocation, denial of entry, hours of detention, or even long term immigration consequences. Many travelers still do not realize how serious this has become, and that lack of awareness is exactly what puts people at risk. My name is James. I have worked as a senior U.S. immigration professional for over 6 years. And through Immigration News Today, my goal has always been to help travelers understand immigration rules before they encounter problems at the airport or border. I strongly encourage you to stay with me until the end of this video because what I share today could quite literally protect your visa, your green card, or your ability to enter the United States. In many cases, people lose years of opportunities, not because they committed a crime, but because they did not understand how immigration officers interpret digital information found on a phone. Let me begin by acknowledging something very important. For many of you watching, the idea that a CBP officer can search your phone feels deeply uncomfortable. It feels invasive. Your phone contains private conversations with your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends. It holds your photos, your thoughts, your jokes, your frustrations, and sometimes messages you never imagined anyone else would read. The idea of a government officer scrolling through that information can feel shocking and unfair. That reaction is completely human, and I understand it fully. However, the reality at U.S. borders is very different from daily life inside the country. At ports of entry, the usual expectations of privacy simply do not apply in the same way, and understanding that reality is essential for anyone who travels internationally. As of now, U.S. Customs and Border Protection operates under an updated policy framework governing electronic device searches at all ports of entry, including airports, land borders, and seaports. This policy builds on earlier guidelines that date back to 2009 but have been significantly expanded and clarified over the years, especially as smartphones have become central to our lives. Under the 2026 framework, CBP officers have broader authority, clearer internal procedures, and faster decision making powers when something found on a device raises immigration concerns. These updates have been reported by major outlets such as Reuters and the Wall Street Journal, and the official policy directives are publicly available through the Department of Homeland Security. To understand why this matters so much, you need to know how phone searches work at the border. In the past, CBP officers could conduct what was known as a basic search of an electronic device without any suspicion at all. A basic search allows the officer to manually scroll through your phone, read messages, look at photos, and open apps, as long as they do not connect the device to external equipment. For more invasive advanced searches, where data could be copied or analyzed using forensic tools, officers needed reasonable suspicion of a legal or immigration violation. The new policy significantly expands how reasonable suspicion is interpreted. It also allows data to be retained for longer periods and shared more freely with other government agencies. Most importantly, it creates clearer pathways for immediate consequences when information on a device suggests visa violations, immigration fraud, inadmissibility, or security concerns. What this means in practical terms is that decisions that once took days or weeks of review can now happen at the airport within hours. Let me explain this with a realistic example. Imagine a young woman named Sarah entering the United States on a tourist visa. She is a graphic designer from Egypt and plans to visit her cousin in California for 3 weeks. At the inspection booth, everything seems routine. She answers questions honestly about her trip, her accommodation, and her return plans. Then the officer asks her to unlock her phone. Sarah has nothing to hide, so she complies. While scrolling through her messages, the officer finds a conversation from 2 months earlier where Sarah mentioned that she might look for some freelance work while visiting, just to earn a little extra money. That one sentence changes everything. Even if Sarah never intended to work, even if it was just casual talk, the officer sees this as evidence of intent to violate the terms of a tourist visa. Sarah is sent to secondary inspection, questioned for hours, and ultimately denied entry. She is put on a return flight and now carries a permanent record of being refused admission to the United States. That record may affect her visa applications for years to come. Under the new rules, it does not matter what Sarah truly planned to do. What matters is what the officer interpreted from her phone. Situations like this do not only affect tourists. Green card holders, work visa holders, students, and even naturalized citizens can face serious complications depending on what is found during a phone search. This is why understanding what officers are looking for is critical. When CBP searches a device, they are primarily looking for evidence of visa violations, such as plans to work without authorization, overstay a visa, or attend school without the proper status. They also look for signs of immigration fraud, including false documents, sham marriages, or misrepresentation in applications. Beyond immigration issues, officers search for evidence of criminal activity, national security concerns, and in some cases, public health risks. Many travelers ask whether they can refuse to unlock their phone. The answer depends entirely on your immigration status. U.S. citizens cannot be denied entry for refusing, but they can be detained, questioned for extended periods, and have their devices seized. Green card holders have strong rights but still face risks if there are other complicating factors such as long absences or prior issues. Visa holders are in the weakest position. If you refuse to cooperate, CBP can simply deny your entry, and there is very little you can do in that moment. Because of this reality, preparation is your strongest protection. Before traveling, you should carefully review the contents of your phone. Look for messages, photos, or posts that could be misunderstood when taken out of context. Jokes about working illegally, emotional messages about wanting to stay forever, or conversations discussing gray area activities can all become problems. Many frequent travelers choose to use a separate travel phone with limited data, not to hide wrongdoing, but to avoid exposing their entire digital life. However, even this must be done carefully, because a completely empty phone can raise suspicion as well. You should also back up all important data before traveling, because phones can be seized for days or weeks during advanced searches. Know your rights, but be strategic in exercising them. Remaining calm, polite, and cooperative goes a long way in these situations. If your entry is denied or your visa is revoked based on something found on your device, request documentation and contact an immigration attorney immediately. I have seen how even lawful permanent residents can be affected. One client, a 68-year-old green card holder returning from India, faced hours of questioning and an ongoing investigation because of a single message discussing customs duties. He was eventually allowed to enter, but his peace of mind was gone. That is the power a single message can have under the current system. These policies also apply to seniors, non-English speakers, and users of encrypted messaging apps. CBP can translate messages in other languages, and the use of disappearing messages can itself raise questions. And remember, the U.S. is not alone. Many other countries have similar border search powers. As we conclude, it is important to keep perspective. Most travelers who follow the rules and prepare properly never experience serious issues. But those who are unprepared can face life-changing consequences. The key is awareness, preparation, and understanding your rights before you travel. If this video helped you understand the new CBP phone search rules, please like it, share it, and subscribe to Immigration News Today. I monitor these changes closely so you do not have to face them alone. Everything shared here is for general informational purposes only and not legal advice. Policies can change and individual cases vary, so always consult a qualified immigration attorney and verify information with official government sources. Thank you for trusting me with your travel preparation. Protect your phone, protect your privacy, and protect your immigration status. My name is James, and this is Immigration News Today. Safe travels, and I will see you in the next video.